Welcome to Farming Simulator 2013 with the Rude Man. Going to do a little showcase today on a couple pieces of equipment that I came across when I was searching for a way to remove my silage from the bunker and place it into a truck without having to use conveyor belts and like 3-point hitch conveyor belts and other things like that. And I ran across this. This is the Ropa Euro Maus, and this is a modified version of that one over there. This one is called the Ropa Euro Maus, and it's designed for the cleaning of sugar beets before you transport them or import them. So that's the main design of it. And if you look at the header, it's made for sugar beets. The only difference between these two is this one over here has been modified so that it can pick up chaff and silage and other things. And the only difference between the two pieces of equipment is the header. So let's roll this header out and take a look at it, compare it. First of all, let's turn the HUD on. And we're going to hit the X key to unfold it, and we're going to take a look at the front of this. So as far as appearance, that's the only difference I could find. So they're pretty much the same machine. This has just been modified to do other chores for you. Yeah, let's just take a look at this one because this is one I was interested in. First of all, let's unfold the elevator. And you do that by hitting the Z key or the Z key, and then we can hit the 0 key on the numpad, and that brings up a second HUD. And right now we are on the pickup table, so if you hit the left shift key and number 5, that gives you some additional commands down at the bottom of the HUD. You can see now we have 8 that we can raise the HUD and 5 to lower it. So you can do that. So let's lower it into the working position. And then the next thing that you need to do is you need to, let's just do the counterweight. It's left shift and the number 6. And again, it adds commands down at the bottom of the HUD. Now we can move with the 4 key of the numpad. We can move it to the left or we can move it to the right. Now that changes in, are we working on the right side of this machine or on the left side, and we'll get to that in a second. And then of course the number 5 key on that, so it's 4 to the left, 6 to the right. Number 5 key will bring it back into transportation mode. Okay, so we're going to be using it on the right hand side. Let's move the weight to the left. And the next thing on the main HUD, or the second HUD, is the elevator. And that's the arm of this piece of equipment. So we're going to left shift 7, and again it changes the commands on the bottom. Now we have 2 more commands for the elevator. We can either move it to the left or we can move it to the right. So it's very flexible. And let's just move it back to the center now. And let's do the end part of the elevator. So let's go to left shift 8. Okay, again, it adds commands to the bottom of the HUD. We have a lot more commands on this one because we have different parts to this elevator. There's parts 2, 3, and 4. So if we look at part 2, that does the same thing as the main part of the elevator, only it does it for the arm. And that allows us to move the arm left and right. So that gives us a little more flexibility. And then the part number 3 is to move the elevator up, and that is the 8 key. And we're going to move it up and get it ready for that trailer over there. And then the last part is the 4th part of the elevator, and we can again move it up and down. So that's with the 7 and the 9 key. So we're going to move it up so that it's in position with that truck over on the right. Okay, now that you've got that ready, And again, it's pretty flexible. You can move it around. Yeah, let's take a look at what it looks like in the shop. When you go to buy these, they're in 2 locations. The first one is, or the one that does the silage, is in the miscellaneous. Can clear down my bottom of my list. There it is. And it doesn't give you a lot of information, but the description did say, it did list all the things that it would work. Silage and chaff are the 2 that I remember, and that's probably what I would be using them for mainly, would be those 2 things. And then the other one is found in the beet section, because that's what its main function is. Ropa Euro Maus. And this gives you a little bit of the statistics of what this thing's capable of doing. All in all, it worked very well for what I needed it to do. I haven't actually used it in a Let's Play, but I was playing with it a little bit on this map, which is a test map. This is the Canada map. But it works pretty good. Now, there is an issue with it, though. And it's the same issue with both of these. When I tried to sell either one of these, my game froze. And the only way that I could get rid of them was to get out of the game. Well, because my game froze, I used Control Alt Delete to end the game, and then I had to go in and actually take the mods out of my mod folder. If you purchase it and you keep it, I don't suppose there's any problem. It's only if you decided, hey, I want to sell that piece of equipment because I don't need it anymore. Well, you may have a problem. So let me show you what it does, and you can see for yourself. I'm going to go ahead and try to sell this piece of equipment. Well, let's try to sell this one over here because I'm using this one. So we're going to try to sell this thing. Let me turn the HUD on so you can see what I was talking about with those different controls. If we look at the say the elevator, let's get the elevator out. Oh, we already did that. Let's do this. So we put the elevator out, and if you look at the commands, the elevator is key 8. You don't have to use the shift key in this one. So that's the only difference, is the other one he added that you had to hold the shift key down. There is one more thing that's kind of interesting in both of these. If you go inside and you're sitting, let's turn the HUD back on. The seat swivels. So in this one, it's the 0 key, and that adds the controls at the bottom just like it did in the other one. You can rotate the seat to the left or to the right for full immersion if you're into that kind of play. And then the 5 key automatically will center it. That's pretty cool. And this version of the piece of equipment is also made in a version for multiplayer. So, but let's try to sell this thing, and I'll show you what I was talking about. Go to the store, and we're going to go down and sell this piece of equipment. Now the selling works just fine. It's gone. But I can't move. I can move the camera, but I can't move my character. And I'm using Logitech rumble pad to drive with, and that's what I'm using here. It doesn't work. Even if I go to the keyboard, like right now I'm hitting the tab key to go between my piece of equipment, nothing's working. I hit the WASD to move, and I can't move. I'm kind of frozen. I'm stuck. So far that's the only thing I could see that's wrong with the mod, and I don't know if there's a fix for it. Like I said, I haven't really looked at that close at the mod itself, the workings of it. But as long as you purchase it and you're going to keep it for a while, it seems to work pretty good. Anyway, that's all for today. If you like this piece of equipment, I will leave the links to them so that you can download them in the description below. And I hope this was fun for you, good, informative. If you liked it, give me a like. If you really liked it, give me a subscribe. In the meantime, happy farming, and I wish you all a good day.